What's up? I see. V-Spec is early. What's up, V-Spec? How you doing, man? As for those of you that celebrate Christmas, I should say Merry Christmas. We don't get into that here, but happy holidays to all of you. I hope you're safe and healthy and you're enjoying your holiday time with your family, and that your family and you are safe and healthy, and that the needs of you and your fam in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings on all those that work in the area of health, along with first responders every day trying to save lives, including Christmas Day, those that make deliveries for our convenience, and those that pick up garbage for us, and double blessings on the men and women trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover, even today, teenagers and children, victims of child molestation and pedophilia, people that are helping those that are victims of prostitution, child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, profiteers, and those perverts that create the demand that cause these evil industries to exist. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. Even today, more than 700,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, military veterans, homeless in the United States of America. Blessings on them. For theirs is the kingdom. Welcome, V-Spec and the Wolf, New York, just in mood, 8185. Corey Lindsay, welcome, my brother, my man, Organic Fanatic, my brother, V-Dash, Ron Cohen, my man, Richard Baptiste, Miss Nancy Stevenson, Jermaine Royster, Track Monkey, John Pettit, Jermaine Royster. Welcome to all of you. Two shots pronto. Dios de bendición. Dios te bendición, amigo y hermano. Blessings. And yes, so here we are. The Knicks are playing. The Knicks are playing. Good afternoon, Deshaun Wilson. Yes, Merry Christmas, Miss Stevenson. We are just doing the pregame today. We just came back yesterday from Minneapolis, and we're back in Florida now. Warm, sunny Florida, thank goodness. And we're doing a little pregame today. So no Deuce. I am, someone. I think it was, who was it? I think it was A-Gap. I think it was A-Pappy. I think he said, so you went all the way to Minnesota and none of the guys are playing. And I said, I went to Minnesota to see the Knicks because this is ride or die for the Knicks. That's what this channel is. And he said it, and I'm stealing it. Ride or die. This channel is ride or die with the Knicks, period. So I came to see the Knicks, but I was disappointed because my favorite player is Deuce McBride. My favorite Knick is Deuce McBride on my favorite team, the New York Knicks, and he did not play. And again, I'm disappointed today because he's not playing today either. No Deuce, no Shamet. I kind of didn't expect Shamet because they're supposed to be reevaluating him yesterday. So we should get an update on his availability soon. But Ian, I shouldn't blame Ian Begley, but he gave us the teaser. He's like, Deuce is looking good. He's working with his trainers. He's close to return. This was last week, Friday. So I was like, yes, he'll be back by Sunday. Well, we ain't seen him, so he's going to miss his 7th game today. They're making sure he's ready, and then, of course, I mentioned to y'all during the live at Minneapolis at the Target Center, it was going to be a long shot for the Knicks to win that game. And, several people mentioned to me about how Randall was flexing. This is the thing, though, brethren. This is December, and he's flexing on Tyler Kolek, Diawara, McCullough. He's flexing on them, right? Listen, I think we agree if I say this, if you would pardon me for speaking for all of y'all, we want to be flexing in June, right? Right? Let Randall flex in a cold December night in Minneapolis. Let him flex. We want to be flexing in June. That's what we're looking at. Okay. We looking to flex in June. So we looking at that. And the fact that Brunson didn't play and OG didn't play, the Knicks are being they're looking longer term in terms of this season instead of just a game in December in Minneapolis. Okay. Yes, we want to win the East, but we don't have to, worry about games like this, like that to win the East. We need to win the East, yes, but we need to get everybody healthy. A lot depends in the NBA on health. Okay. Oh, good. I'm glad for the young boy. It was his ninth birthday. Oh, that's cute. Randall got 3 kids now. I know he got 2 sons, but I think they had a third child. I think he had the second. She was pregnant when he got traded, I think, and now he's got a third child. I think he's got 2 sons and a daughter. Well, bless him. Bless him. You got 3? No, really? You got? Oh, I thought it was. No, he got 2 boys. Right, he got 2 boys and 1 girl. Yeah, so bless him, man. Yeah, let him flex in front of his fam and feel good. If that's what he needs to feel good, feel good. Like I said, I don't want. I didn't want us getting too upset about that. People was mad because he was flexing. No. This ain't the leprechaun rolling the dice on the Knicks logo thing. This is just Randall flexing in his new home court in front of his fam. Okay. Do that. We looking to flex in June. That's what we looking to flex in June. We don't care about December. And of course, y'all know the beginning of the season, Knicks had a couple of losses and people was tripping. I don't know if this team, I don't see this. That's my favorite term. I don't see this happen. That's because you can't see, period. I don't see how they're gonna do this. I don't see how they can win. And we was talking October and November. You don't win championships in October and November. You win championships in June. Okay. So what we want to do is make sure we're healthy for June. Okay. So the parts as individual parts for the Knicks, to me, they're looking great. So Mitch Rob is now really adjusting to coming off the bench and being effective, right? Not only that, I think we've all noticed Homeboy has started hitting his foul shots. Yeah, Brunson's coming back today. Brunson and OG will be back in the lineup today. Yeah, I mean, and look, that game against Minnesota, I felt like I really I mean, because we're Knicks fans, so we want the Knicks to win every game, right? We do, right? But it was a little frustrating watching Brown put McCullough out there. McCullough's not ready for the big time, but you put him out there with we put him out there with Diawara and Daddy and all of these youngins, and I was like, what the hell? But then I understood. Okay, I was like, okay, what's he doing? He's trying to develop these youngins. He's using that game as a scrimmage to develop the youngins. Okay. And so he put them out there and he's trying to build up their confidence. Yeah, he did a little, he actually, I don't want to use the word like he's doing it like as a betting thing, but he actually threw the game to develop the youngins. That's what I'm saying. He threw the game to develop the youngins. So he played McCullough 5 minutes, Porty 12 minutes, Diawara 10 minutes, Daddy 11 minutes. That was he was playing them youngins, man. And that's why, look, the youngins together produced what? They produced 3 turnovers out of the 19. Josh Hart had 6. That's Josh. He went overboard on that. Cat had 5. They had 11 of the 19 turnovers. But I want to say too is, and I'm not giving them an excuse for 19 turnovers, but I want to say that when you're used to playing with a set 5 guys and you get 2 new guys and then 4 other guys that you don't really play with in game situations, that's going to cause at least a few turnovers. You hear what I'm saying, y'all? So like Josh is used to playing with Brunson and Deuce, Shamet. He's used to that. So he's starting with Kolek. Now, I'm not trying to say Kolek wasn't no scrub. He wasn't. Obviously, he had a great offensive game. Defensively, yeah, but offensively, yeah. But Josh wasn't used to Kolek, wasn't used to Diawara, getting that type of rotation minutes. Okay. So that's going to cause a little adjustment. Okay. And so that's to me, I'd say at least of those 11, I'd say 5 of them was due to not used to playing with those guys, not used to playing with those guys on that level in a rotation situation like that. So Kolek had 2 turnovers. Him and Josh and Towns, you just think they just wasn't completely connecting all the time. So it was all right. Like I said, we're not going to whine about a loss in Minnesota in December when you're missing 4 rotation players. It'd have been more important if it was June, right? If it was June or May and we in the second round of the playoffs and this is the situation, that's tough, right? But then December, come on. That's not a big deal, right? Not a big deal. So at this point, yeah, I am not trying to pick on Yabusele. Never was trying to pick on him, but he is going to be traded. It's just a question of what the deal is going to be. Yeah, he is going to be traded. A number of us really like the idea of getting Sadiq Bey. Several of you have mentioned it, and I like that idea. And the reason I like it for several reasons. Number one, Sadiq can slide. See, if we're talking about Alvarado, Kolek is going to get hurt. Anybody asking for Alvarado, and I understand it, but Kolek is going to get hurt. He's going to lose minutes. And, if Alvarado comes to the Knicks, Kolek is the odd man out. And I don't think any of y'all, right? Am I lying? I don't think any of y'all want to see Kolek get kicked out like that. He won't play. He's gonna get some CMPDD CDs. He is DMP CDs. He's gonna, if Alvarado comes, you're talking about Brunson, Deuce, and Alvarado. That would be your rotation. And you want to keep Kolek. And I believe that one of 2 things, and y'all, we don't have to guess too hard. I mean, after 5, now this is the 6th year of the Don's reign, right? The Don came in here in 2020. So now we 5 years going in 6 years with the Don. What would the Don do in this situation, y'all? Come on, what would the Don do? One of 2 things. Either he's going to decide to ride or die with Kolek, which I don't think any of us mind. He's going to ride or die with Kolek. He paid Kolek a lot of money for a second round pick, guaranteed him $6 million, in a second round pick. So he's going to either ride or die with Kolek, or he's going to put Kolek in a situation where he is a rotation player on another team. That's consistent Don. He did that with IQ, RJ, Obi Toppin, Quentin Grimes. That's how he did it. Okay. Quentin is a rotation piece. He was a rotation piece in Detroit. He was a rotation piece in Dallas, and he's a rotation piece in Philly. Okay. Or Obi. Obi was going to be a starter in Indiana, but when they got Obi, they also got Siakam. So Obi's still in the rotation, though he's hurt now, but he's a rotation piece and he occasionally starts for them. So the Don will either set Kolek up to be a rotation piece in another team, or he's going to ride or die with Kolek and not get Alvarado. That's it's as simple as that. I mean, and y'all hear what I'm saying? I mean, that's what I'm talking about. So either that's how he operates. He tries to set the kid up so that he's going to play. Okay. And Kolek had a fabulous game offensively. I mean, for those of you that focus on offense, look, man, if we was to play Kolek right now and not have Brunson, we'd lose a lot of games. We'd win, but we'd lose a lot more because Kolek is not ready defensively. You're going to sacrifice games to get him ready. Okay, you're going to sacrifice games to get him ready. So I don't know what they're going to do, but I like the position of Kolek as the 3rd string point guard. I like that because that gives him just enough minutes to develop, but not too many where he's giving you diminishing returns on the defense. And Devo was killing the Knicks. That's why the Knicks went to a zone. The Knicks didn't go to a zone because, all 5 of those guys couldn't guard anybody. It was Kolek and Cat that couldn't guard anybody. And the Knicks had to go to a zone to protect them. And still, They're going. Anthony Edwards was amazing. I mean, he's a star. He's a burgeoning superstar. So that's what they do. That's what they do. So you know, that's I was watching him make some shots that was absolutely. I was like, this cat, and I mean, with guys on, and he was making. The thing is, with guys like that are as talented as Anthony Edwards, they make it look easy. Like he was taking Kolek and McCall to the basket, like we was in the playground, like he was just going by them like it wasn't even there, and there was nothing they could do. You can't yell stay in front of him because who could stay in front of him? After a while, what they started doing very well, the Knicks, it started shading toward him to get the ball out of his hands. That was really nice. Yeah, and Bones Highland. And the thing is about Bones Highland, he's an attitude. That's why he got traded several times. He was Denver, then I think it was the Clippers, maybe another stop, and now it's Minnesota. He had a little bit of an adolescent attitude that messed everything up for him. But I hope he grows up because he's a talented basketball player. But he's a really good knockdown three-point shooter. On a spot up, he is really good, at that. So because Kolek was trying to figure out where he was supposed to be, and again, I'm not trying to blame Tyler Kolek as if he's going to always be this way. This is part of being baptized into the league. The game moves, and if you've been at a game, you can appreciate how fast these cats are moving, how fast that ball is moving, and how fast these guys are moving. So Kolek was like every other rookie. We've seen it with Obi when he started. We've seen it with Kevin Knox when he started. Some people never really pick it up for a while, but then sometimes they pick it up. But Knox was in a bad position. I'll be honest. They drafted him too high. Then he had to be under Tibbs. It wasn't going to work. But your head gets turned quickly on defense. So Kolek was trying. When he's on ball, he's at his best now because he fights through screens and he tries to stay in front and he gives the guy room when he knows the guy can blow by him. He was doing that very well. But when they move the ball and you got to know where you at and everything is like a blur, that's when you get lost. And then you'll see Devo or Edwards or Bones Highland sitting there with a wide open three. That's what happens. And all it takes is one guy. It doesn't have to be all it takes is one guy. One guy to be out of position, everything collapses. And that's what Mike Brown is constantly trying to preach to the Knicks. That's what we want. We want to get guys out of position and get wide open threes. And we have been doing it. The Knicks have been doing that. So, but Kolek was suffering. And that's why him and Mike Brown, Kolek was nodding. And Kolek is a fiery little white boy. He is. And he was, and then Mike Brown would call timeout just to get him and then put him back out there or tell him to sit down, and then he'll call. Mike Brown was working with that boy during the game and trying to get him, in point here, no pun intended. But that's why we need Deuce back. Deuce don't get lost on defense. He don't. He knows where everybody is, and he knows where he is supposed to be all the time. Okay. That was my disappointment with Frank Ntilikina. Technically perfect defensively, always in the right position. But in the Anthony Ambien school of unavailability, as the chairman of the groin department, was Frank Ntilikina. That was the problem. Okay. But Deuce is Frank, but he's not in Anthony Ambulance's school. Deuce is in the Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart school of tough hombres. He's on that board. So he's going to be there. He's going to be there. Deuce, if y'all saw the video, Deuce wanted to be back playing a week ago. He's like, I'm playing. F that. I'm playing. Y'all saw that? He said, F that. I'm playing. He wanted to play. The Knicks holding him out. He's like a dog chomping at the bit and pulling the leash, trying to get back at somebody, So the Knicks holding him out. And you know why? They smart. They want him for the long term. They want him healthy going down the stretch here. Okay. They want him healthy coming down the stretch. It was a good It was a good. Yeah, we gonna end early. Track. I know. I'm watching the time. This is just a pregame. We're gonna end early, but uh, it was good training ground for our youngins against Minnesota. Good training ground. So once Deuce, Shamet get back with the regular squad, you won't be seeing a lot of them. And we was talking about Sadiq Bey. Sadiq could step right into Yabusele's spot. I mean, right into it. He can be a 4. He can run on the wing, and he can defend 1 through 4, Sadiq Bey. And he's now getting back into the shape he was, his knee, I mean, before the ACL. So he's just coming back. It'd be a good time to get a guy like that. So I would love to get Sadiq in here for Yabusele. Now, I don't know how New Orleans feels about that. You got to think about what would be their advantage. I mean, if they're look, Sadiq's on an expiring deal, so they may want some compensation. So we have to see how that works out. But I mean, aside from Yabusele, we have to see. Okay, let me ask you, Gorilla Jakes. You're asking me what about Middleton? So you know me a little bit, Gorilla Jakes. Why would I say hell no to Middleton? Why would I say hell no to Middleton as opposed to Sadiq Bey? Why would I say Sadiq Bey all day, every day, and twice on Sunday? Yeah, Middleton always hurt, man. Middleton is in the Anthony Ambulance School of highly paid, unavailable players. And he's old as crap. Old as hell. Yeah, so that's our problem. No, Middleton could play defense. He's like the Jaguar. I had a Jaguar. It was in the shop more than I drove it. And when I did drive, it was smooth as hell, man. My son was just telling me, remember that Jaguar that you had? I said, don't remind me. That thing cost more money in the shop. I don't know what. Every time I showed up at the shop, the bill started at $2,000 for that car. But when it was driving, it was smooth, baby. And that's where Middleton is. When he's playing, he's good. But when is he playing? That's the problem. At this stage, Middleton hurt. So, no, I don't want nothing to do with Middleton. Give me Sadiq every day, all day, 7 days. Give me Sadiq. Yeah. So right now, Sadiq's on an expiring deal. That would be ideal for the Knicks. So now he's on a prove-it contract. $6 million, prove it. You know what I'm saying? So is he on 2 years right now? Let me double check. Is Sadiq on a 2-year? Richard Baptiste says he's on a 2-year. Okay, well, fine. Good. Bring him. $6 million. Bring him. Okay, bring him. Okay. Yes, bring him. That's all I'm saying. Bring him, because that's what I'm talking about. So I'd love Sadiq. Yes, I know Middleton with the Wizards. Yeah, he with the Wizards. Yeah. Anthony Ambulance University. He actually joined the staff of Anthony Ambulance University when he was still with the Bucks. So yeah, you get to, they won that chip, and I didn't think they was gonna repeat because they had. I mean, I was surprised at how well Brook Lopez held up at like age 150. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was, and Brook Lopez came into the league with the Nets as an offensive player, but he developed into a 3-point threat and a defensive player with Milwaukee. Brook Lopez is really high IQ, so he's an old cat, but still got a few sharpened teeth in there. You know what I mean? So he's playing off the bench in Clippers. One guy's like that, you just don't know what you're gonna get. All of a sudden he can fall off the apple cart, and that's the end of it. It's like getting old. I'm 64. I still feel really good. I can still do a lot of things, but one day it's gonna hit me. And I'm gonna realize, wait a minute, this is tough. Getting out of bed is tough. This is gonna be that happens to NBA players. All of a sudden, they've been going along. You say, oh, they're 32 and they still playing. All of a sudden, the drop. That happened to Dr. J. And you knew it happened. You know who let Dr. J know it was time to retire? It was Larry Bird. Dr. J was so frustrated. Larry Bird was doing them. Larry Bird had like 42. Doc had like 6. And Larry Bird was coming down the floor. I remember it. And he's like, the next play, I'm coming right here, and I'm shooting a 3-pointer in your face. And he did. It got to the point where Doc grabbed homie. Doc took them 2 big claws he had and grabbed homie around his neck, man. But that was showing Doc, you finished, man. You done. Okay. And Doc knew it. Doc used to do that to other players, but he didn't talk like Larry Bird. But Doc was making everybody look bad, both in the ABA and when he first came in the NBA. He was making everybody look bad. Okay. I mean, he would just dunking on anybody, throw it down. I don't care who's at your ball, I'm going to flush it on you. And he do it, So, when he got 32, he had a really good 32-year-old year, but then he just fell right off. It happens. So with a guy like a Lopez or a Middleton, especially Middleton already telling you, when a guy tells you who he is, believe what he's telling you. Okay, when he shows you who he is. Middleton hurt all the time. He was in Anthony Ambulance School in Milwaukee after they won the chip. So yeah, so the Knicks would have to add a player to Yabusele to make that deal work. They would have to add a player, and y'all know who it's going to be. If they trade somebody, it's going to be Daddy. So they have to add money to make a deal work with what Prezzi's just showed us. So Bay is 6.1, Yabu's 5.5. The Knicks cannot do that deal with just Yabu. They need to put, and that actually would help the deal for New Orleans because New Orleans is rebuilding, right? You got Jeremiah Fears that's playing a lot, right? You got the young boy Derek Queen that's played a lot. These are young boys. They redoing this thing, right? So they want to trade off things they don't need for more young talent. And absolutely, Daddy fits the bill there. So you put in the 20-year-old guy, and you getting 20-year-old guy, and so now instead of Sadiq Bey, you get another guy that's Sadiq Bey, kind of speak, but with a young talent in Daddy. So that would work. To me, that would work. I would say New Orleans, I can understand them doing that deal. Okay. Because of Daddy. They getting Daddy. Deuce ain't playing today. Deuce out today. Deuce is out. Shamet is out today. Yeah. Deuce and Shamet out today. Deuce and Shamet out, but we got the captain back. The captain is back, and the grown-ass man is back. Grown-ass man walking through the door right now. So we got the grown-ass man, and we got the captain coming back. So the head of the snake and grown-ass man is coming back. So, Deuce still out. Out today. Like I said, I'm very disappointed. I'm more disappointed than y'all. Deuce is, this is above all Deuce Hive, so yeah. So we got OG and Brunson coming back. So that's important, right? So we got two very important pieces coming back for the Knicks today. Who is Cleveland? Let me see what Cleveland is missing. A lot of guys, man. Look, Cleveland's got Evan Mobley is out. He's listed as questionable against the Knicks because of his calf. Larry Nance is week to week. Strus is still out. And then, of course, who else they missing? They had Garland. I think Garland is back. And they got one thing about Donovan Mitchell. He is available all the time. Sam Merrill is back. Evan Mobley is questionable. Jarrett Allen is back. So they're pretty healthy. They're missing Larry Nance. Lonzo, DeAndre Hunter, Evan Mobley, they pretty much full strength today. They're pretty much full strength today. Yeah. I don't even want to talk about Williamson. It's not even worth our discussion. We're not interested in Williamson. The Knicks are not interested in him. He's not coming to the Knicks, so it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. I don't like wasting time on irrelevant conversations. I'm too old for that. I'm too old for any waste of time. I'm an old dude, so I got limited time on the planet, so I'm trying to maximize my time on the planet. And in doing so, I don't like to talk about stuff that makes no sense, not going to happen, not even worth my breath. And Zion is in that category. Hopefully Toronto wants him, Yeah, so, but this is the thing we have to always remember. Jack Monkey said Garland is back, but not playing at the level he was last season, perhaps. But we have to remember, in Madison Square Garden against the Knicks all opponents have their best game. You all know that, right? They can have a nobody. I can name a nobody. Let me name a nobody. Jalen Tyson can come and score 30 in Madison Square Garden tonight. Do you know why? Because they know they don't have to stay there. It's just like a highlight. So they mama, they daddy, they girl, they kids are watching them in Madison Square Garden. So it's just like a one-time highlight. So they can go off and then go back to Cleveland or wherever the hell they want to go, right? So Garland may not be playing well, but you can expect him to be playoff level Darius Garland against the Knicks today. Period. Always. Because this is Madison Square Garden. This is Christmas Day. This is national TV. Yeah. It's going to be all that in the bag of chips. They're going to be all that in the bag of chips. So here we go. Here we go. So we got to be ready. Yeah, Miss Lee, you understand exactly where I'm coming from. I don't have time for the BS. So that's why half of the stuff I see, I look at X, but half the stuff I don't even bother with. It's not even worth the time to discuss. If some people are so stupid to say some of those things, they too stupid for me to try to save them. So I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm just leave it alone. I ain't got to waste the energy for that. I'd rather put my energy in more productive pursuits. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, anyway, yeah. They're gonna come out with gangbusters today. If Mobley plays, he's gonna be all world today. So it's gonna be like that. But we got Cat. We got Brunson, OG, McCall, Hart. And all of them cats are going to come to play today. That's right. So they're going to be, they millionaires, right? So let's take Darius Garland. He probably brought his whole family to New York. They're probably in some suite at some penthouse somewhere. They're all going to be watching him, right? So he whatever it costs for the suite, the penthouse, he ain't worried about that. The boy making gazillions of dollars, right? So he gonna want to go off today. Then they're gonna want to go see the Rockettes. You see what I'm saying? He gonna want to go off today. Then they're gonna go want to see the Rockettes and visit the big tree and all that. It's gonna happen, So everybody comes to play against New York in the Garden, and especially on a holiday. But look, don't discount us because Brunson, we got Jalen Brunson on our team. Don't ever bet against Jalen Brunson. I keep telling people, don't bet against JB, man. Who was that stupid chick that was trying to talk about the Knicks can't win because Brunson ain't that guy? Who is that dumb chick? How could you be on the bench with Pop and you still don't know what the hell you're doing? How could that happen? Oh, maybe I was going to say something about Alphabet Soup getting her mind all messed up, but how you going to be on the bench with Pops and you still don't know? You know what I'm saying? You still don't know the rules. You don't know the rules. What am I saying? How's that rap go? Your flow sound old. You got to pay your dues. You know the rules. Yeah, Becky Hammond. That's her. Becky. Appropriate. Becky. Appropriate. Becky. Yeah, Becky. Her. He can't win. He's too short. You better go pay your dues because you don't know the rules. Becky don't know what the hell. How could you be in? I bet you Popovich would take Brunson in a heartbeat, right? And I bet you he win a chip with him too. This chick. How could you be on the bench with Popovich and you don't know what the hell you're talking about? That's what I'm saying. Like, who is this chick? Anyway, don't get me started with Becky. Yeah, that's it. Becky. She looked like a Becky. The hell she gonna be talking about Brunson? You can't win the chip with Brunson. I actually say, like I said, don't bet against Jalen Brunson. They did it in high school, and you saw what happened. They did it at Villanova, and you saw what happened. Now they doing it in the league, and you about to see what happened. Oh, Monica McNutt likes, and you know who else? What's that other sweet chocolate candy that she loved Brunson? She loved Brunson from the time he was in Villanova. I mean, she's so up in Brunson grill. I'll be like, wait a minute. What's her chick name, man? Y'all know who I'm talking about. She probably the finest sister on Taylor. Taylor Rooks looked like she made by AI, man. And I ain't talking about Allen Iverson either. She looked like AI put her together. My God. My God. Taylor Rooks. She been a Brunson fan since Villanova. She was telling everybody. She will tell you. She said, I was in Brunson. I was all on board with Brunson when he was at Villanova. Don't ever bet against Jalen Brunson. We got a dog, man. He's a daggone dog. And the boy's assassin, too. He's an assassin. How many times does he have to embarrass the opponents for us to understand he's a damn assassin? You know what I mean? He just showed that. Who was that he beat the other night? We wasn't even at full strength, and he beat. Yeah. Taylor Rooks. That is physical. I don't know what kind of person she is, so I can't judge her. But that is physical perfection right there. When the Most High made Eve, I think she might have looked like Taylor. Damn. Yeah. Mine and Duck and Taylor cooks, and she does cook. Yeah, I heard he going back to college. That's some crazy mess. I never heard of nothing like that, but yeah, that's some crazy mess. Anyway, whatever. I think that's a waste of his time, but okay, whatever he wanted to do, you know. I always like his I liked his numbers. I like the potential that James Najee. I still do. I like the potential that he represents. He just needs to really be a little bit more physical and stake out. He needs to be more Josh Hart, physical. He needs to be a bully like Cat. He needs to be a bully. He needs to learn to be a bully. If he can get that, he's going to be good. Yeah, me neither. That was wild. Wasn't that Michael? That was wild, man. Yeah. So, yeah. So, yeah. Thank you, Miss Stevenson. Yeah. So, yeah, we definitely in good shape right here. I like our chances against the Cavaliers, even though I know they're gonna go off. It's gonna be a game. Yeah, me too, V Dash. I was surprised to not see Jemison. I was surprised. I was like, I know Jemison getting some time today, and he didn't. I was surprised, man. I was surprised. You never. This is the thing. I'm still not figured out Mike Brown. I know some things. Like I knew Tyler Kolek was going to start. Everybody knew that, right? Tyler Kolek was going to start. I wasn't sure if it was going to be Kolek with Diawara or Kolek with Mitch Rob. It turned out it was Mitch Rob. I did not know he was going to play McCullough. When I saw McCullough, I said, what the hell? And then I'm like, okay, where's Jefferson? Anyway, yeah. I think Deuce, I expected to see Deuce today, right? When's the next game they're going to? I'm very disappointed that I'm not seeing my boy play. But you know what? When's the next game they're going to? I mean, when's the next game? The next game they play, who is it? We got Cleveland today. Who we got tomorrow? Let me see. Who's the next one? We play the ATL on Saturday night. I'm expecting to see Deuce McBride in ATL on Saturday night. Shoot. I know I'm not the only one. I'm getting some Deuce Jones, man. I need to see me some Deuce McBride out here with that defense. I need to see that tough brother. Yeah, on the road trip against the ATL, then Monday at New Orleans. Ooh, it's interesting. They play in New Orleans. It's weird that when the trade happens, it's often the two teams that are involved with the trade play each other. You remember when Carmelo Anthony, right before the trade, Denver came to the Knicks, to Garden to play the Knicks, and the Knicks won at the last second. Melo had the ball and turned it over in their last, I remember that, in their last possession. And then the trade came. Well, the Knicks getting ready to play New Orleans on Monday at New Orleans. Maybe Yabusele should pack all his bags. Huh? He might be staying down there. Happy holidays to you, Miss Edwards, and your family. Everybody, hope everybody's safe. He should pack his bags and stay down there. I think, Michael, if they include Daddy, there's the pick. If they include that. Plus, honestly, if you look at the Knicks, they got a ton of second rounders. They ain't got that many first rounders, but they got a ton of second rounders. They can give up a second rounder, for Sadiq. They could, because they got a ton of second rounders, man. The damn Don has stacked up second round. And not only that, look, Jalen Brunson was a second rounder. Mitch Rob was a second rounder. Deuce was a second rounder. Kolek was a second rounder. All rotation. Look at that. Look at that. But I think Daddy would represent a second rounder, even though he was a first round pick. Yeah. Because in this age in which we live, which we all see, y'all see the parity in the league, right? There's a lot of parity in the league right now. So second rounders can become, look, Jalen Brunson, all NBA. Mitchell Robinson, best offensive rebounder in basketball. Tyler Kolek, tremendous potential, right? And then, of course, you still got Deuce, all defensive potential. Second rounders, all. And Joe Dumars is a damn genius. You see? So, so shoot. Yeah, there you go. So they could put Daddy with Yabu and get that deal done. I just don't, I'm just wondering. I'm concerned. I don't want them to. I like Jose Alvarado. I do. I really like him. He would work very well in New York. I'm telling you, he'd be a dog coming off the bench. But I think we all hope our boy that we drafted, Kolek, stays with us, But we have to see what happens. But I'm telling you, Yabusele is getting traded. The only question is who's going with him. Ooh, look at this. Look at this. Oh, Organic, you still here? Oh, we was just at 144. That's a good number. So look, what I'm gonna say to y'all right now, please enjoy the game. I just finished my coffee. Man, I had some gelato yesterday, messed myself up. I mean, but my wife said, "Look, baby, it's holidays, just once in a blue moon." So I had cheese with some cheese, mozzarella cheese sticks, and I don't normally get that, and ice cream with a 14-ounce steak. And I had three, me and my wife split these meatballs at this Italian joint we like to go to. And man, I said, dang. And then, I got a sugar, the sugar high followed by the crash. That came yesterday, man. And man, shoot. I said, man, I messed myself up. But she said, hey, so today I'm liquidarian. My fasting is liquidarian. I do the coffee. I do the grape juice. I'm liquidarian on a fast day. So I'm doing liquidarian today. But see, it's an enjoyable liquidarian when I do my keto coffee and I do the Cabernet Sauvignon. And today I got chocolate wine to go with the chocolate wine is a mixture of Merlot and dark chocolate. It's all good, man. So we're going to be watching the Knicks with a couple of minutes. We're going to be doing this thing, y'all. I want y'all though to be safe. Please be safe. Above all, be safe. And don't fight with your family. Don't fight with nobody today. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Back up. If you drink a little wine, enjoy your wine. That's what I'm going to do. Enjoy your wine. If you into other herbs, enjoy your herbs. Don't fight. Chill out. If you need to go out and get a walk, go do that. Enjoy the game. Don't trip. We're going to be good. Enjoy your family today. Okay? Don't trip out. Enjoy your family. Take it easy. Take it easy. It's an easy type of day. Take it easy. You might be dealing with some stuff. Okay. Give it a rest today. Give all the stuff a rest today. And just chill. Just decide, I'm chilling today. They can say anything they want. Talk about my mama. Talk about everything. I'm just going to chill. Yeah, chocolate wine, man. They make it with dark chocolate and Merlot. They got two types. One called Red Decadence, made with dark chocolate and Cabernet. And Cabernet is one of my favorite wines. But Merlot goes good with this one. It's called the Chocolate Shop. Man. Yeah, stay calm, stay cool, stay collected today. Don't trip out. Don't let nobody mess your peace up today. Don't let nobody mess your peace up. That's what I got. Keep your peace and then keep the peace. Y'all enjoy. We'll talk about this game tomorrow. And those of you we're having a Bible study later on tonight. The Bible study is going to be about when is Jesus' birthday, according to the Bible. We're going to show that tonight. Praise the Most High. Anyway, please enjoy the game. Enjoy the time. Come back fresh and ready to go tomorrow. Shalom.